K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hello and welcome to a special edition of Morning Tailgate on Saturday playoff weekend, brought to you by Coast to Coast Network, Entertainment Network. So, yes, this is the Morning Tailgate, typically on Sundays, but for the next 2 weeks, we will be on Saturday due to the Saturday playoff game. So, joining me tonight, as I am the host, Big B. Most of you guys know me. To my left, it looks like, square next to me, Mr. Dave Messaround. How you doing? Or Messaround Dave?
I'm good. I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, and I did get a little cat nap for like 13 minutes before the show started. So
Okay. All right. And then, Dave, also be safe out there. We heard you guys got some an advisory out there, so you stay safe too. And below him, we got the man, the myth, the bacon lover, Crispy Bacon. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How's everybody doing?
All right. And then a man of a few words, unless you talk about his Patriots, Mr. Lowrow. How you doing?
Doing fantastic. Was in bed until 8:30, and then got up, and then getting ready for a really good show of Morning Tailgate, and it's gonna be a great night, great playoffs. Looking forward to it, and looking forward to the Patriots making an improbable run to the Super Bowl.
Yes, we will dive into all that. So, morning, Tim Hendricks. He's across the waters over there in Italy. If you guys all remember, our loyal fan, Mr. Tim Hendricks, my brother from another mother. If you guys seen pictures of us, you guys would have swore we were brothers. So, with that being said, guys, let's break down Week 18, the final games, because what we needed to happen, if I remember right, the Colts to lose to Jacksonville, which they did.
called it.
Yes, you did mess around. And then Pittsburgh had to win to have any hopes of getting in, which they did.
They did.
And then the final game was Raiders-Chargers, and the winner was in, or a tie, and both teams would get in. So, So we'll start with mess around. Who called it? So, what was your final thoughts going into the Sunday game there after 1A and 1B happened, and then we almost had a tie? So, what did you think?
It was insane. I mean, I called it. Just, I wanted the Jaguars to win just so Pittsburgh would make it, and then who else did he lose?
They needed. Wait,
They
for
needed the
Pittsburgh?
Dolphins to lose too, I think.
The Dolphins. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So those two things happened, and then you get to the Sunday night game, and it gets to overtime, and they were that close to being a tie if the kicker would have missed. Come to find out after the game, the Raiders were going to take a knee until the Chargers called the timeout, and they were going to play for the tie. And then they got the big run by Jacobs to set up the winning field goal. So it was insane. That game was probably the game of the year for me. I love that game. I couldn't take my eyes off that game.
All right, how about you, Lowrow? What did you think of all the wrenches being thrown into Week 18, that final week there?
I didn't even expect the Colts to lose in Jacksonville. Everybody should be beating the Jags, but the NFL is a given Sunday. Any team can beat anybody. I mean, even the bad teams can beat good teams too. So Trevor Lawrence was pretty much showcasing his skill set, auditioning for next season. I think that's what they were doing. I think the Chargers and Raiders was an instant classic. It was a well-played game down to the wire, but at the same time, I thought the Raiders were the better team. I just thought that Derek Carr was due to play in a playoff game.
Yeah, how about you, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, it's true. Any given Sunday, somebody can pull off a victory and, pull out a win. But the last, few years, maybe 6 years, going down to Jacksonville, the Colts haven't really played that well. So it's kind of, it's any given Sunday, but you kind of had to figure maybe the Colts were not favored. I mean, they were favored, but not really, destined to win, I guess.
Yeah, no, I mean, start with that Jags game, Colts. Tim, I know you're a Colts fan, and I was really hoping the Colts would win, but I really wanted Jags to throw the wrench into the mix, and they did. Then Miami lost. Pittsburgh won, which I kind of was a little shocked at that game. And then coming down to the final minutes with the Raiders Chargers, and
That was a
they were
great
going to
game.
kneel. And then they broke out that big run, and they're like, we're going to play to win now. So, Chargers kind of did it themselves. When it came down to getting into the playoffs, I mean, I guess it sounded like there was a mutual agreement to let's just kind of play to get into the playoffs. But so
The spot for me for that game was like when they went for it on 4th and something in their own end,
yeah,
and they didn't get the first down. I'm like, what are you doing? Thankfully, their defense showed up and only held the Raiders to 3 points on that drive.
yeah, no kidding. So let's talk quickly about some last minute coaching updates. Houston let go of their guy after 1 year, and we all know that the Giants let go of their guy. So Loro, what do you think of the last 2 coaching openings that we got here?
I felt like that the Texans should have given David Culley 1 more year, just because I'm not a fan of coaches that are one and done, because I feel like that David Culley was kind of a placeholder, I was told last night on Wild Sports Talk. I mean, for that next head coach. I mean, David Culley is a good coach. The players played hard for him. They love David Culley. And I thought that he was going to be the right fit for the Texans. But Nick Caserio, who I know very well during his tenure with the New England Patriots, wanted a former New England Patriot to run the Houston Texans, someone from the Bill Belichick coaching tree. And also for the Giants, it just tells me that the Giants are a laughing stock in the NFL, and John Mara wasn't patient with Joe Judge. So I think that by looking at these 2 openings, if I were a head coaching candidate, I would not want to coach either the Giants or the Texans. I would want to go to Miami because of Tua Tagovailoa, probably the Raiders because of Derek Carr, and it's a big market. I would coach these 2 teams if I were a head coaching candidate, but not the Texans or the Giants.
All right, how about you, Chris? What did you think?
I was kind of surprised as well because, we know that Houston didn't play all that well, and maybe, it's because of all the Deshaun Watson stuff and, stuff in house. But I think it was a surprising move. There's something more to this story, I believe, and I think we're going to hear something, down the road.
All right, how about you,
I want to point out, Chris, before Mess Around takes his team, like, my point is that I'm gonna be very harsh on this. I don't think Deshaun Watson's gonna ever play a snap in the NFL ever again.
I don't know about that. It just it depends on this trial and what if he says is true. I think he'll get another shot. I think he wants to prove his innocence.
Yeah.
And right now he is until otherwise.
Yep. All right, Dave. What do you think of the coaching vacancies?
Well, the Texans one is kind of interesting because, like Lower said, the guy, most of you guys have said it, he deserved more than 1 year. And Lower hit it on the head. They want a Patriot guy. They'll probably end up with Brian Flores there, or Gerard Mayo. I know they interviewed Flores yesterday. And another team to watch out for if the Cardinals don't go far in these playoffs, I can see Cliff Kingsbury being the next one being fired.
Wow. Ooh, that'd be.
Oh my God, Dave! Why?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Well, we'll see. I mean, like we said before, crazy things have happened. So, Tim Hendricks is agreeing with you, Laura. I'm guessing on the quarterback situation where you don't think he's going to play for it again. For me, I mean, it wasn't a shocker. I guess the Giants. It was more of a shock that they stalled it 2 days. I'm with everybody or Laura. the one and done was kind of ridiculous. Give them another year, but it
Unless
is.
there's something more to the story.
Yeah, exactly. There might have been some locker room issues and conflict of interest the way they wanted to run the program, but if they want the stuff off the Belichick tree, you got to act now. I mean, it was kind of like the same with Bill Walsh back in the day when the Niners were hot. Everybody wanted pieces off of that tree. So
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna strike when it's hot. So I want to give a shout out to our man Michael, the
Hey,
conman as
Michael.
we used to call him. He's joining in. He shared our show, so thank you again
Thank you.
for that.
Mm-hmm.
So let's move on to what we're all here for. 18 weeks in the books. Now
Yep.
the regular season begins. The road to the trophy. So before the year started, we had some picks, us four, on who was going to win the division and be in the playoffs. So let's go over those.
Oh, let's not.
Yeah, Dave. Let's not. You're exactly right. So in the AFC, we all did pretty decent. We all had 3 of the 4, except for Dave, had 3 of the 4 division winners. We all had Bills, KC, and 3 of us picked the Titans. In the North, we had the Browns and the Ravens, which we know got those wrong. And Dave had the Steelers in the South. So, and then for the playoffs, Laurel, you had the Colts, the Ravens, Dolphins. Chris, you had the Colts, Chargers, Steelers. Dave, you had the Ravens, Chargers, Dolphins. And I had the Colts, Pats, and Dolphins.
Oh my God.
Show how much I know.
Yeah.
I'm just playing.
So Laurel, you were let's see, 4 and 6 in those predictions. Me and Chris were 5 and 5, I think, about 500.
Well,
And Dave,
it tells me something here, guys. I think the Patriots really proved me wrong this year.
Yep.
I was kind of thinking like, with Mac
yeah.
Jones, it was kind of too much to ask for a rookie quarterback
Yep.
to take a team to a division title. You had to build from the ground up. So
Yeah,
I feel like by next year the Patriots are going to unleash next year.
Yeah, and Dave, you had a couple right in that round. So in the AFC or NFC, I'm sorry, this is where we kind of all were all over the board. So Chris and Laurel, you guys had all 4 division winners right.
Yay.
Me and Dave had Washington. Dave had the Rams. We both had the Rams. Dave had the Bears. I had Green Bay. And then we both had the Bucks to round off that one. So we weren't doing too hot in that one. And then in the other seedings, Laurel, you had Seattle, Washington, the Niners. Chris, you had the Cardinals, Eagles, and Seattle. Dave, you had Cards, Seattle, the Saints. And I had the Panthers, the Cards, and Seattle. So with our total record, Dave, you were in last with 4 and 10. Me and Laurel tied at 9 and 5. And the man with the brains of the whole operation was 11 and 3 with his prediction on in the playoffs. So congrats to you there, Chris. You showed
Thank
us
you.
that you
Good job,
have
Crispy.
the mind for football. And Dave needs to take more naps.
I think I was half awake when I made those predictions.
Yeah. Or you're just copying.
Because if you remember, I didn't even have Green Bay making the playoffs.
Yeah. And you got the Bears winning. So you might have been taking some notes off of Isaiah's book, maybe. So.
Well, I think a lot of fans were scared after that week 1 loss to the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
After all
but
that.
I think we did our picks a week before that, but
right.
I could be wrong, but Dave, you might have got your picks in later because I don't think you joined us for the first couple weeks. So
I didn't.
Yeah. So and you still did that bad. All right. So this week for our pick'em games, We're going to pick all the playoff games for week 1 here. But we're going to throw a little twist into it. We're going to each game is going to be worth 2 points. So if you pick the underdog and they win, you get 2 points. If you pick, let's say, the Bengals over the Raiders, and you decide that you think the Raiders will cover the spread, and they do, you get a point. If you take the Bengals and you say the Raiders will not cover the spread or cover the spread, and they don't cover the spread, meaning they get beat more than the spread allows, then you lose a point. So Laura, we'll start with you with the first game. And you guys can talk about what you think will happen in the game. So Raiders versus the Bengals. ESPN Day has the spread at -6 for the Bengals. So what's your takes on the game and what you got?
I got the Cincinnati Bengals in a close game. It's going to be under 6 points. I think it's going to be the Bengals winning by a field goal here. I think both defenses are not that great, but if I had to choose which defense is better in this game, I think the Raiders' defense is probably the better defense than Cincinnati's defense, because since it's going to be pretty much the Bengals' high-flying offense, the Raiders' stacked defensive line with Max Crosby, who's had a wonderful season, along with Carl Nassib and Yannick Ngakoue. Those are the players to watch on the Raiders. But overall, I'm just a big fan of offenses wearing out top defenses. So I think that for me, when it comes to who's the number 1 ranked offense versus the number 1 ranked defense, I just think that the number offense for me wins championships.
All right, how about you, Master Allen?
I'm going to go with the Raiders to win the game. And
Raiders with the upset. All right.
Yeah, I think that if they're going to win this game, they're going to need to rely on Jacobs to have a good running game, and I think he does that and keeps Joe Burrow, that high-flying offense, off the field. And then win by 7.
All right.
So you have my pick for the Bengals, Big B?
Yep, I got it. Bengals, and you took the Raiders to cover. So Chris, what about you?
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting matchup, but I feel like the Raiders can pull off the upset. So I'm picking the Raiders on this one.
Oh, Raiders. For me, guys, as much as I like the Bengals and the Raiders, I mean, the Raiders have gone through a lot. They've been proven. The interim coach has done a great job. I'm going to make that 3 Raider upsets. I think the Raiders are playing with a heavy heart. They want to do it for Madden. They want to do it for their fallen receiver. They kind of want to stick it to the NFL and, for them firing their coach. So who knows with that one. So, and Tim is taking the Bengals with the spread. So put some butter on that one, Tim is saying. So next up, we got the Pats versus the Bills. -5 for the Bills. So we'll start with Dave on this one.
I'm going to take the Bills. I think that, last time we played these weather conditions, it went the other way, and I think the Bills are going to flip it, and they end up winning this game by 10.
All right, so you're taking the Bills and not taking saying it's going to be an upset or over the spread. Okay. So, Chris, well, how about you?
Yeah, I'm going with the Bills. I mean, it's been a while since they had a playoff win. Actually, not long ago, but they're trying to make it back to a Super Bowl, and maybe this is their year. Okay. I know you don't want it to happen, but anything can happen. So I'm picking the Bills over the Patriots.
Okay, and are you taking the Patriots to cover the 5 points, or is it going to be over 5 points?
Over 5 points.
All right, so taking the Patriots not to cover.
Yeah.
All right, Low Roll. What do you got, Low Roll?
I got the Patriots under 5 because I think with the weather conditions, I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I think the Patriots win 17-14 over the Bills. I think that the Patriots defense is going to get at Josh Allen, and I could see the Patriots making an improbable run to the Super Bowl. But realistically, it might not happen, but we'll see. But I think that the Patriots are going to get a win in Buffalo in these cold conditions that they have tonight. But I think that the Patriots are going to get this win.
All right, so you're taking the upset. I'm going with the Bills, but I think the Patriots are going to make it close. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, and the Pats will cover. So that is my pick for that one. Next, we'll move on to the Eagles versus the Bucks. The spread is 8.5. So, Chris, why don't you give us your take on this game?
What was the spread for the Bucks game?
Yeah, Bucks and Eagles.
Right.
8.5. I'm sorry.
Okay. It's okay. I'm picking the Buccaneers to get the 8.5.
Okay, so you just say the Bucks will beat them more than 8.5.
Yes.
Okay. Laura, how about you?
I got my boy Tom Brady and the Buccaneers beating the Eagles, but it's going to be under just because I think that the Eagles are going to give the Buccaneers a game, but I just think that the Buccaneers are going to still find a way to squeak out a victory.
All right, Mr. Messaround.
Fly, Eagles, fly. I'm going to take the Eagles in the upset. I think Jalen Hurts in that running game is going to keep Brady off the field. And their defense does just enough to hold him down when he does see the field. So Eagles by 3.
All right, so taking the upset there. For me, I've been debating on whether to take the points or not, but I'm going with the Bucks. And I'm going to say that the Eagles will cover. I think it'll be a close one. I think Lowell nailed it. I think they're going to have I think the running game for Hurts is going to play a factor. So I got the Eagles covering. So our loyal viewer, Tim, let's go back to, he's got the Bengals with the spread, the Bills with the spread, and then he's got the Bucks, and he said the Bucks do not cover. So with that being said, let's move on. Low roll, 49ers versus the Cowboys. Cowboys -3.
I actually have the Cowboys beating the Rams under -3 just because I think that it's going to – I think the Niners are going to give the Cowboys a game, but I think that it's going to – I think Greg Zuerlein's going to kick the game-winning field goal, and I have the Cowboys and the Buccaneers playing in my divisional round bracket, and then I have – and go from there.
All right, so you got the Niners covering that -3. Okay. Mess around. How about you?
I'm going to go with the Niners in the upset. I think the Niners are going to win because the kicker's going to miss a game-winning field goal at the end for the Cowboys.
Not a surprise.
We're going to call Dave Mr. Upset today. So, Chris, I know I probably don't have to ask.
It's the Cowboys.
So, Cowboys, Niners.
Yeah, it's the Cowboys, but I think it's going to be over the 3.
Okay, so you're saying the Niners don't cover. All right.
Right.
For me, I'm going the Cowboys. And again, I'm taking the Niners not to cover. I think it's going to be a little bit more of a just this game. I mean, so. And Tim, our loyal viewer, he's also taking the Cowboys not to cover the 3 points. So, all right, moving on. We got the Steelers versus Kansas City. So, low roll started last time. Mess around. Give us your takes on this one.
We go with Kansas City to win, and I think their offense is going to be too much for the Steelers. But I think Ben's going to have a good game in his last game, but just not enough to win.
Okay, are the Steelers going to cover the 12.5 or?
Yeah, they're going to cover. They're going to win, by at least 20.
All right. So, Chris, how about you?
Kansas City more than 12.5. So I don't think the Steelers can cover.
All right, so you're taking the Steelers not to cover.
Right.
Just like Dave. All right. Laura, how about you? What do you take?
I'm going to take the Chiefs over 12 because I think this is probably going to be a blowout game. I think this is going to be the only lopsided game that we'll see here, and I think that Patrick Mahomes is going to have a field day against the Steelers.
Wow. Tim's picking the Steelers to the Steelers in the upset. So that I think that'll be a good one. So for me, I'm taking KC, but I think the Steelers will come in close, and I think they will cover the 12.5. So I'm going to take the Steelers to cover the point spread and lose by less than 12.5 points. So going to Monday, a Monday playoff game, guys. First time ever that we do a Monday playoff game.
Yep.
And I believe there's one next week too. So
not surprised.
Yeah. So Cardinals versus the Rams. Chris, what do you got?
I got the Cardinals winning that game.
And the spread is in favor of the Rams by 4.5. So you got the Cardinals in an upset. All right.
Yeah.
All right, Laurel. How about you? Cardinals, Rams.
I got the LA Rams in a close game. I think it's going to be under 4, like you said, and I think that it'll be a 24-21 win for the LA Rams.
All right. Dave, how about you? You're on mute.
I'm going to go with the Cardinals in this one. I think Stafford's going to continue to struggle in the playoffs. It's going to revert back to his Lions days where he just tosses it up and hopes for the best like he did at the end of last week's game. And he throws a couple picks that cost his team the game.
All right.
Cardinals by 3.
All right. And Tim is also going with the upset with the Cardinals. And for me, I've been on Stafford's bandwagon since day one, so I'm going with the Rams. But I don't think the Cardinals will cover, so I think they're going to go over that. So I think the Rams are going to ball out a little bit on Monday Night Football. So we got the Rams for myself. So, yeah. So that's a wrap for our picks. So we'll throw it to you guys. Chris, maybe you can look up some history facts while we go into it. Laura, you got a topic you want to throw out there while Chris is looking up some history for us?
Topic is that who I think is going to be the next head coach of the Miami Dolphins. I picked Brian Dable because I have 100% belief in Tua Tagovailoa. I mean, I also heard that Ian Rappaport reported this morning that the debate on the Dolphins getting Deshaun Watson is over, and the Dolphins are 100% committed to Tua Tagovailoa.
Well, once the coach left, that kind of threw out everything. So,
yeah. So, what do you think of that, Dave? Loro's new coach and the fact that the reports are over for them getting Watson.
Who did you say the coach was going to be?
I predict the Dolphins' next head coach is going to be Buffalo Bills offensive coordinator Brian Dable.
That's not a bad pick. I mean, look what he did with Allen. He could do the same with Tua, so that'd be a great fit.
Yeah.
As far as Deshaun Watson goes, who cares? He's not playing another down in the NFL. His next stop is prison.
Ooh.
Ooh.
All right.
Ouch.
All right. Mess around throwing shots. For me, I think that would be a good fit. I mean, I'm surprised the Miami job's open, so there must have been more behind.
Well, I heard there's some kind of rift between him and the Torres.
That's what I heard too. Is that there was a rift on the direction they wanted to go to. So,
well, when your head coach tells the starting quarterback he wanted Mac Jones over him,
yeah,
straight to
Yeah,
the face.
that is true. That is true. Um, so yeah, as far as the trade, I think everybody just needs to lay off Watson trade rumors because right now they're just rumors, and I don't think anybody's going to take a flyer on Watson until the court hearings are over and stuff, and the truth is laid to rest. So
Right.
for me, yeah, I think we just need to put Watson on the back burner and let him figure out his stuff. So Tim is saying McEnemy,
Enemy for the
yeah,
Chiefs.
McEnemy would be a good things with Tua. So yeah, that definitely could be one thing too. But you know,
He always gets the suggestion, but he never gets the job, and that's a
yeah,
problem.
yeah, yeah. He's always second best, but someday I think it'll come for him. Um, so Chris, did you find any history for us today?
Yeah, so I thought something fun we could do is just a little brief history of the playoffs. So
Okay.
1920, the league forms. Uh, there's no playoff format. It's just whoever has the best record overall wins the championship, which is kind of crazy. Uh, 1932, they had like the first championship, which two teams tied, so they had to determine the winner. 1941 to 67, they had two conferences each. Uh, they had two conferences, and then each played in a championship, or two conferences. The top of those conferences played in the championship game. 1970 to 74, three divisions and two conferences. Three division winners made the playoffs, and I think one extra team did too. No seeding. 1975 had the seedings, and then 78 they expanded to a 16-game regular season. They had a division winner, so there's three division winners plus two wildcard teams, and then it was kind of like baseball. The two wildcard teams faced off. Whoever won that moved to the divisional round, and then now we have the standard format.
All right, thanks for that history lesson there, Chris.
Yeah.
For me, something I was kind of thinking about last night. We got the one bye week. The top divisions get it. So
Mm-hmm.
we got the NFL adding Monday night games to it. So maybe not next year, but could down the road when you see them going back to the two bye weeks, adding another playoff team, and letting our first two teams get a bye like it used to be. Laurel, what do you think?
I'm sorry I couldn't hear. I've been here. I didn't hear you clearly because of coughing.
No, that's okay. So we went to one bye week this year, added another playoff team, play on Monday nights. Could we see down the future, maybe next year or the year after, the NFL going back to two teams getting a bye the first week and adding another playoff team?
Probably not. I think it's fine the way it is right now. I think this current playoff format's working, and I think the owners are making more money out of this.
Well, that's the factor right there. It's a money grabber. So, Dave, what do you think? Could we see the NFL returning to the two bye weeks, keeping the games on Monday night, and adding another playoff team?
I'm with Laura on this. I like the way it is now, the way it's currently constructed. Although the extra bye week for the other team is always nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think they keep it the way it is.
Yeah. How about you, Chris?
I think it's good the way it is, but say you add that extra bye, that team, to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Technically, it would be 8 on each side. You wouldn't need a bye week. You could just have, 4 games
Oh,
You know, for
okay.
each
So my math
conference.
is off. So they would have to add. So they would have to add 3 teams extra to make it a bye
Right.
week. Okay, yeah, that's too much. Okay, so that just debunked my whole thing. Thank you, Chris. That's why you're the brains of the operation. So
Nice.
I don't see them adding 3 teams to give 2 teams a bye week. So yeah. So that just throws that right out the
But I
window.
think it'd be fun though, because not only did you add 2 more another team, but you added another game. For fans, that's great, but and I guess for the NFL, that's great because it's more money.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
if
but
you did
then
that way, you'd have more teams in it
yeah.
going into the final week, but then you get like a team with a losing record, and it probably
Yeah.
shouldn't have been in there.
Right.
Yeah, Tim saying subtract 1, so that's what it would have to be, is a subtraction of 1, which I don't think they would do that. So,
I mean,
Chris,
this is the
I like your
second.
idea, just letting them all play round 1, but then you got no benefit of being. I mean, outside of home field, you don't have a benefit of getting that number 1 seed. So, I think
This is
we'll,
the this
now
is the
rethinking
second
it.
year.
Yeah, now thinking of it after Chris explained it all, I kind of think that we're set. I think this will be the playoff format going forward. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Dave, do you got anything you want to throw out there before we start wrapping it up here?
Eh,
I'm just trying to see
not
if there's
really.
breaking news here or anything. Okay.
Starters should come out in a couple hours. Like
Most of the
Summer
stuff I
Friday.
have, I want to save for my show on Monday or Tuesday.
No, that's okay.
Oh.
Well, why don't you give us just a little sneak peek? I mean, for your lunchtime
Yeah.
and mess around. Give a little teaser.
Well, I'll be talking about the GM and coaching searches for not just the Bears, but all the teams going around the league,
Okay.
and where teams currently are with that, who they're interviewing, who the favorites are, things like that.
Yeah, that's definitely a good teaser. I know here in Minnesota, Mike Tice, a former coach, laid out his predictions for some coaches going elsewhere, and he's got the offensive coordinator for the Packers. I don't know his name offhand.
Hackett.
Yep, him coming here, or which is coming out to be the front runner to a lot of reports, Doug Peterson coming to Minnesota. So for some reason,
Dougie Fresh Peterson.
yeah.
You wouldn't be bad.
No, I don't think so. But just seems like Minnesota's tied with the Packers here. So
Which is weird.
yeah, it definitely would be weird. So looking at some news that I see right now, Flores interviewed with the Titans job. Well, let's look at this. The All Pro lineup came out. So let's see if we got a full lineup here. Yes, we do. So AP Office NFL All Pro team. So this is both leagues combined.
Mm-hmm.
Quarterback Aaron Rodgers. We all agree or disagree on that? Dave, I know your thoughts, but do we agree that Aaron Rodgers is an All Pro quarterback?
Sure, why not?
Okay, Laura, how about you?
Absolutely.
All right. So the first team All Pro running back was Thomas from the Colts. Do we agree on that one?
I agree with that.
Mess around.
Who was
with
it?
Laura?
Thomas.
Or not Thomas, Taylor.
Taylor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I was confused for a second. Yeah, Taylor
Yeah.
agreed.
Okay. Tight end. I don't know, a little disagreement. Mark Andrews on this one.
He's good, but I don't know about this year.
Over Travis Kelce.
Yeah, over Travis Kelce. That's who I was.
Oh, I
disagreeing
disagree. I disagree with
on.
that.
Laura, how about you? You agree with Andrews as the tight end All Pro?
I mean, I think that Mark Andrews had a breakout season to prove that he can be an all-pro tight end, which I think he is.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's okay. Tim's agreeing with Rodgers, Taylor, he agrees with, and then Waller, he's saying. So, so tight end's kind of a mixed reaction like normal.
Yeah.
So the three receivers, Adams, Cup, and Samuel. You guys agree on those three receivers?
Cup, Samuel, I do.
Okay.
Adams, I'm not sure about.
All right, Dave, how
What?
about you?
Adams is for sure. The only one I'm not sure about is Samuel. I would have gone with somebody else. I would have put Jamar Chase over Samuel.
All right, how about you, Laurel? You agree on those three receivers?
Oh yeah, I think that all of them have become elite wide receivers in the league.
Okay, yeah, I'm with Dave though. I think Cup and Adams are my locks. I can hear arguments for Jefferson and Chase. I mean, could be there. I think one of those three. Chase definitely had a big
Yeah,
breakout year.
I agree with you on that. Either one of those, Jefferson or
Yeah.
Chase, should have got it over.
I mean, Samuel got it because he's more versatile. I mean, it is. I'm gonna skip the offensive line because, I love the big guys, but you never hear. There's no stats to prove either way, so we're gonna pass
So,
on the
okay.
offensive line.
So,
So-
the Raiders are going to conduct coaching search for a head coach after the season ends. So it sounds like they're not keeping their interim coach.
So okay, so we'll break
That's
into that.
BS.
So we'll break into that right now, and then we'll come back to this. Dave, you've already said it. It's BS. I mean, he's got him to the playoffs, so
With everything that he guided this team through, like you alluded to earlier, the Gruden firing, the Ruggs going to prison, and well, not yet, but going through all that stuff he's
Yeah.
going through, and then John Madden passing, and
they're in the playoffs.
Here's what I
They're in
think.
the
Guys.
Okay, Laurel.
I think that the Raiders should just remove the interim tag off of Rick Bisaccia and not do any more coaching interviews. Knowing Mark Davis, I think that the Raiders are going to keep Bisaccia as their head coach, and I feel like that Derek Carr is not going to leave the Raiders. A lot of people think he is. It happens every offseason, but I feel like that Derek Carr has done enough to remain a Raider for the long run.
Well, I mean, they just talked about it. They said he is the interim coach is a candidate. They haven't ruled out signing him, but his performance in the playoffs, basically will determine his coaching position. And then
if
they
they
also
beat the
said,
Bengals today, he's for sure going to stay the coach.
I'm sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I
then they
think
also
regardless
said,
win or not, I think that Rick Bisaccia will be the Raiders' next head coach, the full-time head coach.
and they also said that Mayotte, their general manager, is in limbo too.
Oh,
So they may be looking for a coach, and all of this is stemming around performance.
Okay. Yeah, I think if they win one or two games, I think they got to take the interim label off and go on the coaching job. If they lose, then you're at about a 50-50. So,
yeah.
All right. So back to our defensive all-pro team. So on the edge, they got T.J. Watt and Myles Garrett. Do we agree on that, guys?
I agree.
Yeah?
I agree, but I think try not to be a homer, but maybe Parsons in there.
Well,
somebody on the
defense.
defense.
We'll get to Parsons. Laura, do you agree on the edge rushes? Watt and Garrett.
Oh, Watt is too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they're both really good players,
All right. So defensive line, we got Aaron Donald and Cam Hayward. You guys agree on those two?
I agree.
All right. So linebackers, Darius Leonard, Parsons from the Cowboys.
Okay.
And Campbell from the Packers. Do we agree on those three linebackers?
No. Yeah.
All right, Dave. Who you got?
How can you not put Roquan Smith in there? The dude is a beast.
Okay.
You got to have that guy in there.
All right. Loro, do you agree with those three linebackers?
Yeah, of course. I think it's
all right. And then our two corners, I definitely would be upset if there was a disagreement here. Diggs and Ramsey. So you don't like those or what?
No, I like them. I
Oh,
like
okay.
them.
All right, Dave, Laurel, Diggs, and Ramsey. Like those two at corner?
I'd say you have to agree. I mean, you can't really take Diggs out there because he had, 10, 11 picks this year.
Yep.
So, and Ramsey would have more if he was targeted more, but they don't throw his way that
Exactly.
often. So,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong with that.
All right. And then our safeties, they're not specifying free safety or just safeties. They're just putting them together. Kevin Boward from the Texans, or Bird,
Kevin
I guess.
Byard.
Yeah. And Jordan Pryor from the Bills. Do you guys agree on those safeties?
No.
Who do you got?
I would have put the Honey Badger in there.
Oh, okay. How about you, Laurel and Chris? You guys agree on those, or do you guys another one you would put in there?
I agree with it.
Okay. I mean, for me, this might be the homer in me, but I think Smith is still a top safety. I know he's been hurt and out, but when he's in there, he makes an impact. I mean, so
We
special
can't even
team.
throw Darwin James in there for the Chargers. He's good too.
Yep, exactly. All right, so our special teams, place kicker. I don't think we can argue this one. Justin Tucker.
Yes.
Okay, the punter. I mean, he's the punter. So AJ Cole from the Vegas. I don't think we can argue that one either.
Okay.
Kick returner. Broxton Burials from the Jets. You guys agree with that one? Okay.
I don't have another name to put in.
I would have put Cordell Patterson in there.
Cordell Patterson has been doing some things. I do like him. Devin Duvangi from Baltimore.
Duvernay.
Returner. Well, who's that, Laurel?
Devin Duvernay.
Duvernay. Okay, thank you. As the punt returner, you guys agree with that one?
No.
All right, who you got?
It's the only guy to take a punt return back this year. Shaquem Grant from the Bears.
Yeah? Okay.
Okay, why not? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, Patterson, I can see in both spots, actually. So I'll skip the last two because it was the holder and the long snapper, which, it could be anybody, but so you guys got anything else there before we wrap up?
Tim agrees with us on the Patterson pick.
All right. So with that being said, guys, we're all ready for week 1 of the playoffs here.
Yeah.
Let's go around and finish this up. So, Lauro, give us a few seconds to wrap up the show.
It's going to be a great playoffs. I'm hoping for a Buccaneers and Patriots Super Bowl.
Oh, that's the world's nightmare.
All right.
Yeah, okay. All right. So, Chris, how about you? What we got going on for C2C?
Yeah, so I don't think there's any shows tonight that I know of, right? I think we're
You're going to
changing up
replay
schedules.
Sports Minute?
Yeah. And then we're going to replay Morning Tailgate, and then tomorrow we're going to have, Between the Ropes.
Yep.
So, just
all right, Messerod, how about you? What you got going on?
I'm going to take a fat nap before I go to work, and I probably won't get to watch the games because I don't get off work till 10 o'clock. So
okay. So like Chris said, tonight we're going to replay Sports Minute. Due to conflicts of schedules and stuff, this will be the last Sports Minute for Saturday, but we're going to replay it. We might replay Sports Minute here and there on Saturday. So
yeah.
Tomorrow Morning Tailgate will be a replay. So if you guys are watching this, just remember it is a replay. Again, Between the Ropes Sunday night, we'll break down Raw and SmackDown. And
also,
then,
one more thing, we have a new show coming up. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's really cool, so look out for that.
Oh, yes. We got another show in the works here. Check it out in the next couple weeks, I believe. So, with that being said, you guys enjoy the playoffs, and we'll see you next Saturday for Morning Tailgate.